Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
We got William Tyler in the house.
What's up, bud?
I want to say, hey, love you.
We're living the dream out here, man.
Come visit.
And welcome. It's the Early Morning Sunday Show. Got a special. Well, it's always a special one. Every Sunday's special, isn't it? And I'm here to start your Sunday off. Unless you're not watching this on Sunday, then I'm here to, whatever else you got going on, I'm here to start you off. So cheers. We'll talk about this in a minute, this mug. Okay. I'm going to be doing a podcast with my friend Jim Gleason, the owner of Radio Wasteland, and we're going to do a half-hour podcast. I guess we're going to do Brown. And here's the thing: I don't know anything really. I've never done a podcast. I've never listened to a podcast. But we're going to do this because Jim's worked in TV. He's worked in radio. Of course, now he owns Radio Wasteland, so super cool. And so we're going to give this a shot. And it's called Two Guys Talking About Records. And it'll be a vinyl community podcast. So Two Guys Talking About Records, a vinyl community podcast. Short for Two Guys Talking About Records. And this just should be fun to try. I have something different to do. Kind of looking forward to this. And I think we're going to be talking about Record Store Day to start with. So take a listen and, get on. Okay, cat. Yeah, meow. Everyone sees you. Everyone sees you're here. Exactly right. Come on. We're trying to get something done here. We're just starting, all right? Okay, here we go. The opening there. That was Michael Mueller from Belmore, and that was William Tyler. William Tyler is like one of my all-time favorite guitars. One of his albums ranks as one of my favorite albums. And I have one of his new albums here that we're going to show. So they're out in California, and Michael knows I'm a big fan of William Tyler. And Michael has a VC channel. And so when William Tyler was at his place, or they were met up, he says, hey, let's do this. And so they sent me a greeting. So I wanted to share that. That was like, oh, this is so cool, man. That's William Tyler and Michael. All right, so let's just say fanboy. How about some VC shoutouts just for fun? No, you don't need to be smelling and licking me. All right, VC shouts. So the first one, this one here. All right. Now, my handle broke on this mug. Would you stop that, man? I'm trying to show a mug, okay? Holy crap. Tales from the Crate. See that? Tales from the Crate. This was like my all-time favorite channel. I'm going to toss you off the show here. Tales from the Crate. Andrew. He's back. He took a hiatus. Kind of got things. If you're not enjoying this, if it becomes kind of like just something to do, it's like a drag, you gotta step back, and a lot of people do, and Andrew did. Well, he came back. He just did his first video. The name of the channel is Andrew. Now, it had been Tales from the Crate, but it's now just Andrew, and he has 52 subs. And I just want Tales from the Crate. Now Andrew was my favorite of all VC channels. So knowledgeable. The music was so interesting, so different. He would show things that I had no idea about, and that's what I like. Show me something new. Let me hear something. And he was always putting out samples of the music, which helped. If you like Dom from Seeking a Thread, you would love Andrew. Both have incredible. Those two just should get together and just talk. Those two should probably do a podcast. But he's just so knowledgeable, but yeah, just this friendly. He's just a friendly guy. I've tried to keep in touch with him. Merry Christmas, that kind of stuff. But so happy. Tales from the Crate. But the name of the channel is called Andrew. Please check that out. If you really want to learn about new types of music, Andrew. Go to that channel. A couple others. Marcia P is one I've started watching. She has 211 subscribers right now. Variety of music. She's showing a lot of classic rock, and I'm watching this video. She's showing this classic rock, and then she pulls out the Cramps, A Date with Elvis. I go, oh, there we go, man. Hey, we got the Cramps in the collection, and she likes it. So Marcia P just does a nice job. She seems like a very nice person, very pleasant. So check her out. Cats and Records. Cats, right there. Cats and Records is a channel. I'm trying to think of his name right off. I can't think of his name right offhand. I apologize. But he has 34 subscribers. He has a lot of cats. I mean, he has a lot of cats, and he introduces his cats. And his cats are behaved. They're not like this, who just comes and, you know, just bum rushes the show here. So, but obviously he has cats, and he's showing records. Take that out. David's Final Digs. David has been has watched my show for quite some time, and he is doing his own now. He has 65 subs. He's kind of going through some of his collection. He's way out in Wyoming. But it can be a very beautiful country. So David's Vinyl Digs is another pretty cool one. So those are just some channels to check out, some new channels. I have some more, and I hadn't done this in a while just because I forget, so please take time to check them out. All right, let's talk some music and get going. Now, someone's sitting right where I put my records. That's where I put my records. Oh, this is going to be a rough one. Okay. One of the most important albums that came out of the late 80s, and with alternative music, and really changed stuff. And it is Surfer Rosa from the Pixies. Pixies formed 81, broke up in 93. I mean, they did reform, and they're out playing again. But this is their first full length LP, and this came out in 1988. If you don't know the Pixies, let's just say you take jagged roaring guitars, you add in some melody, throw in some pop hooks, and then you intertwine this with male-female vocals that are singing very evocative, very cryptic lyrics. And by doing all that, you become one of the most influential bands of the late 80s. And maybe of all, you know, right up there in the pantheon of bands that have been extremely influential. And this is the album, the one that came out in 1988, Surfer Rosa. Now, I had left this in a record store. This is an original. And I was in there in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Greenlight Records. But they had also, they had a different Pixie album that I didn't have yet. And I had a reissue of this, so I left it. I went back there a month and a half later. It was still there. Now, I mean, this is one of those albums that's haunting me. But yeah, I couldn't buy two originals at the time. I did, you know, it's around Christmas. And it was still there. I couldn't believe no one had snapped this thing up. So, the price was decent. So I grabbed it. And now I have, yes, the beautiful original of the Pixies, Surfer Rosa. And this is one of those delights of record collecting when you get something like that. Steve Albini came in and he added muscular production to this thing. He just made it roar. It begins with Bone Machine. And Bone Machine, I mean, it is just explosive. It just comes out the gates. There's these shrieking vocals happening, blaring guitars. And I mean, the opening has drum, bass, guitar, and it just takes off and just grabs your attention right away. And then there's the lyrics. I mean, here's this one, you know, it goes, he bought me a soda and tried to molest me in a parking lot. Yep. Holy smokes. I mean, it's like, all right, okay, all right, what do we got going on here? Incredible. This also has the hit Gigantic, which Kim Deal, she penned. And it starts out really quiet with her and the bass guitar. But by the time she hits the chorus, there's just this wall of sound. And Gigantic was used in some different commercials and been around. It is just, this is such a great, this is a college rock classic. It's just one of those all-time great albums. And I couldn't be more thrilled to have this thing. It's so good. Very, very nice. I talked in the opening about William Tyler. William Tyler is a guitarist. Plays acoustic, plays electric. He put this out with Marcia Anderson. Marcia Anderson and William Tyler. They collaborated together in 2021 and created this called Lost Futures. Of course, 2021, we're in the heat of the pandemic, so no doubt it was done virtually. That photography is fantastic. I know old abandoned amusement park. I love that kind of photography. This is, you know, both Marcia Anderson and Tyler are guitarists. And, excuse me, on here you're going to get, there's some drone, there's some jazz, there's some country, there's some indie rock. All those kind of guitar textures are tossed into this thing. It begins with the song Now About Heaven. I'm going to play you a sample of that. And it's just this beautiful windswept beauty of Western, like a Western landscape. I mean, the music speaks for itself, and you can just feel that in it. Lost Futures follows up next. It's just this beautiful, lovely acoustic duel that's happening. You have Hurricane Light was another one that really stood out. Spacey, somber type music with these two guitars. Now they do add, some do have a violin in it. There can be maybe not much else. Maybe a little bit of drummings in there, but for the most part, it's just these couple guitars. Something will come. That's a little more challenging on a number. It has this 2-note drone that's happening kind of in the background, and it's a more muscular track. For the most part, this is just music. It's spacious. It paints a picture for you. Really nice, relax you. No lyrics, all acoustic or all just instrumental. I can't say acoustic because there is electric in here. Wonderful thing from William Tyler and Marcia Anderson. I just happened to pop on. I was looking and see what William Tyler had out and go, oh, I didn't know about this, so got it. All right, we got this beautiful t-shirt, Concert Buddy. Concert Buddy's Chance, and wonderful channel. He's gotten over 500 subs, should have a lot more. Chance, his videos are great. He's one of those guys that knows how to put things into it. So Chance, take a look at his channel. He's out there trying to find 90s original stuff. He's down in the St. Louis area. But he sent me a VCLT that I was super surprised about. I had no idea it was coming. And it was this record store tape book. And it was sealed up. I've been looking at this in my local record store. He had a hardback and a softback edition. And I go in and I flip through it and I look at it and think, God, I need to get this. But I never had. My Chance never knew this. He had an extra, I guess, and he sent this to me. And it just kind of goes through the history of Record Store Day. But it also comes with this album. And on this album, you have Paul McCartney's Driving My Car, Pearl Jam, Billie Eilish, Brandy Carlisle, Jason Isbell, Justin Townes Earl, Jose Gonzalez, Metallica and Mudhoney are on here. Those two, their two songs just tear the speakers up so good. Imagine Dragons, Regina Spektor, Frightened Rabbit. This was neat. Just some wonderful live music from Record Store Day. Jacket. I was just so excited to get this, and it was extremely generous of you, Chance. So I really, really like that. Please check out his channel, Concert Buddy, and give him some support. He's been a good friend. I've known him since he started in the VC and been a loyal follower of him. And really like the guy, real nice person. So thanks, Chance. Record Store Day. Did you hear it's coming up? I haven't even shown you the Record Store Day stuff I bought from the last one, but this is my favorite one. My favorite album from Record Store Day in the fall. And it is, this is really hard to read, Overwhelming Colorfast. Overwhelming Colorfast. This is their self-titled album from 1992, and they're out of San Francisco. I don't think they lasted very long. I'm not sure. Butch Vig produced this. How about that for some cool vinyl? Cat's decided that sitting over where I would put my records is nice and calming for him right now. So that's fine. He's not bothering me. All right. That's the inner sleep. Very nice. This is for lovers of Ooskadoo. And I think you can still find this probably out there. If you love Ooskadoo, this is perfect. It has layered guitars, but there's also these melodies, and these melodies are just surrounded by these layered but raging guitars. It reminded me of like Bob Mould. I mean, it was so great. Again, Butch Vig produced this, and he added more drums and a heavier guitar sound to what they do. And it is wonderful. They do the Beatles, She Said, She Said, and give this grunge feel that is phenomenal. It's like, wow, now that, I like the way this sounds. I mean, I like She Said, She Said by the Beatles. I'm a Beatles channel. But this thing, what they did with it was really, really awesome. I'm going to play you a sample of Arrows, and it's super melodic, but yet there's these blasting drums and guitars that are going on. So I say it's melodic, and then it's filled with blasting guitars and drums. Does that make sense? I think to me, the vocals are more melodic. This is just classic pop punk rock. It is just, man, it was the one I really wanted on Record Store Day, and I was not disappointed. Overwhelming Colorfast. Just, wow. Whew. A little jazz. We have Sonny Clarke. Dial S for Sonny. Sonny Clarke, bop musician, born in 31, died in 63. Only like age 32. He was a Bud Powell inspired pianist. And on here, he actually died at age 31. Guess from what? Heroin, of course. But this is the first album that he did. He did this in 1957. It was his first album for Blue Note and the first as a leader. And he had quite the group of people. He had Art Farmer on trumpet. There's Hank Mobley on tenor sax. Sonny Clarke's on piano. Louis Hayes on drum. Curtis Fuller on trombone, and Wilbur Ware on bass, which I don't know him. So yes, there's trombone solos. For those of you that dig trombone, you're going to like this. I'm not the biggest trombone dude, but it was still very good. There's 4 originals, 2 standards. It is, and a few reflective, there's some reflective ballads and just some good bop music. There's really good straight ahead bop. It starts with Dial S for Sonny, which I'm going to put, I believe that's where I'm going to give you a sample of that one, which really sounded quite good. There is Bootnet, another one, and then it goes into It Could Happen to You, which is just kind of a quieter, more relaxing type ballad. Fun record. You know, is it my favorite? Is it the jazz album I'm going to pull out all the time? No. You know, it's, if you got a little extra, you want something a little different, some bop, this is a nice record. You know, it's a good record. It's not like the greatest jazz album, but it's a good one. So, Sonny Clarke, Dial S for Sonny. This is fun to find. Found this at Radio Wasteland. Catherine Wheel. Yeah. Chrome. Catherine Wheel, they came out of the UK in 1990 and in the broke up in the aughts. They were like alt-rock shoegaze. They did 5 different LPs, and this is a really good one. The lead vocalist was Rob Dickinson. His cousin, you may have heard of him, was Bruce, and Bruce was the singer for Iron Maiden. This is not Iron Maiden, though. Catherine Wheel itself, when you think of Catherine Wheel, that actually was a medieval torture device. But, yeah. It is also what they said, well, we named it, it's not after the medieval torture device, it's also fireworks. There is a fireworks called Catherine Wheel, which is what they say they named themselves after. This is a beautiful pressing, and I just, this is a repress, by the way. It is a repress, it's not an original. Music on vinyl, it really sounds good. On here, there is a lot of guitar feedback that's happening, droning effects. It's just really good, kind of the shoegaze, but it has a tougher, harder sound. So it's taking this kind of the shoegaze that sometimes can have kind of this drony, dreary, and this gives it more of a hard rock type feel. There is some nice laid back ballads on here, but, you know, not like, you know, snooze fest ballads. The Nude was a song I really liked. I'm going to drop you a sample of that one. It has these beautiful arrangements happening, but it's just texture distortion. Probably the easiest way for me to explain it within the song, and just these wonderful harmonies. It is really nice. This is a great album from the 90s. To get Catherine Wheel did some really good work, and to me this is one of their best. So Chrome from Catherine Wheel. For those of you that want your hard rock, I want my hard rock. Rival Sons. I used to have these guys in CD quite a bit. They're out of California, Long Beach area. They've put out 6 LPs so far, and they have some of the finest mustaches in all of rock. There is some great that is a hell of a handlebar mustache that guy has going on here. Great Western Valkyrie Valkyrie. This came out in 2014. Again, I had this one CD. This is their 4th album. They recorded in Nashville. The group, it's like they just like 60s hard rock vibe, but made into our century. Jay Buchanan is the vocalist, and he has this huge vocal range, and just has this voice that's perfectly fit for hard rock. Such a great album. I seem to say that a lot this week. Hard charging guitar solos. Look at this. I got this. This is from the Bill Young collection. Some of the Bill Young stuff has gone up for sale at Radio Wasteland. I've tried to buy some of it as I can. You know, because Bill Young had just one of the greatest collections in the whole world. Okay, same thing there. So it's been fun getting some of that music. This is just, but hard charging guitar solos are on this. Just really interesting stuff. The song I'm going to give you is Electric Man. It takes you to the Sugar Shack, and it's a killer. It's a killer song. I'm sure you can still find this out there. It is Rival Sons. You're not going to go wrong when you buy music from them. I wish I had more of their stuff. You know, you just can only buy so much, but great sounding stuff for those like hard rock, blues rock. These guys really do it well, and phenomenal mustaches. Final one, real quick. We have Hitman, bargain bin thing. What is it? Let's see it. What do we get? And well, that kind of says it all right there, doesn't it? Came out of London in '79, broke up in '82, put out 2 albums. This one here is called what's it called? Torn Together. It's their 2nd album. Mike in Australia, Ben Rankin, now known as Mike, he would have this in his collection, but they are probably called the London Hitmen, because there already was a group called the Hitmen in Australia, which he probably has, so they had to change the name to the London Hitmen. But they had a minor hit called Bates Motel. You can see the video on MTV. You know, this is just one of those albums that, you know, okay, it's interesting. Very early 80s. You definitely have the, you know, the new kind of synth pop happening here as you have that. It doesn't say anybody plays keys on here, but there's a lot of keys going on. This is not necessary music. It's just inexpensive, something different, but will it get played a lot? No. That's what we got. Cat, thank you for being cool and not bothering me. Yeah, meow. Exactly. He just gave me a little meow there. Check out these channels I mentioned at the start. Andrew, really excited to have you back. And, you know, Andrew's the one that used to always do the vinyl take. He came up with all the vinyl take questions for a number of years since I'd been in here. So welcome back, Andrew. Please check out his channel along with the others that I mentioned. Everyone have a great week. Bye.